important thing, most important feeling, the fundamental feeling of japa is Shraddha. Shraddha is not simply truth, it's about truth feeling that this is true. Japa without Shraddha is very difficult to keep the mind attracted to Nama Japa. Opposite of attraction is distraction. The mind is always distracted unless you are attracted to Nama Prabhu. Only when you know something wonderful, something is great, something is beautiful, something is merciful, something is limitless, only then your attraction will come. So one of the fundamental, the starting point of Shraddha is thorough knowledge about the sound vibration that is before you. The sound vibration that you produce, we produce with our tongue. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, is revealed by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as the Nama Avatara. Krishna's form is eternal, Krishna's name is eternal. So that eternal name of Krishna, many names he has got. Those names of Krishna, Kalikale Namarupe Krishna Avatara. We have heard all these things so many times. Knowing philosophically is one thing, converting that into Shraddha is another thing. Shraddha means not only you are convinced, you feel the truth when the Nama is before you. So if our quality of japa has to increase, ample philosophical knowledge we have got, but that knowledge remaining as knowledge is not enough. Knowledge transforms into vijnana. There is a feeling component to that knowledge, the truth feeling. Yes, this is true. When you very deeply feel that this is true, then see, there are different degrees of Shraddha. So we have to work on increasing our Shraddha. The process of increasing our Shraddha is first to be intellectually convinced that Kalikale Namarupe Krishna Avatara. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu simply does not say Kalikale Namarupe Krishna Avatara. He has taught what is the Avatara Tattva. The Lord who is Satchidananda, who is transcendental beyond the three modes of material nature. How we manifest to our senses by entering a Sharira, which our senses can access. And that Shabda that we produce with our material tongue, into that sound, the transcendental sound descends. Golokera Premadana Harinama Sankirtana. Golokera Premadhana. It is a Bhandara of Prema. What is the Bhandara of Prema? The Harinama. Golokera Premadana Harinama Sankirtana. Shastra says something means it's 100% true, 1000% true. So when we are chanting before us, the Prema of Goloka Vrindavana, the treasure house of Goloka Vrindavana, treasure house of love of God is before us. The holy name descends. The Supreme Personality of Godhead Himself, because His mercy is infinite, even to the infinitely fallen living entities, He descends. We have to believe that. First we have to intellectually understand the Avatara Tattva. Why would God come to me? Not because I am great. He is coming to me because He is infinitely compassionate. So that even the most fallen desires to chant with Shraddha. And then what is the further Tattva? The truth. Prabhupada gives the example of how a piece of iron, when it's put in the fire, the iron becomes warmer due to transfer of heat and becomes red hot. You see, these are all very intellectually we can understand through these analogies. This has to be repeatedly reflected in our mind. Rationally, you have to reflect. Oh, yes, this is how Prabhupada says it works. And this is the fire of Satchidananda is before me. So my soul has to enter this fire of Satchidananda. And the way to enter this fire of Satchidananda is through your attention on the sound. Attention is a pathway to enter the consciousness that is before you. Satchidananda consciousness. Eternity, knowledge and bliss has descended from the spiritual world. So these things, now you are hearing what I am saying, you feel convinced. When Prabhupada gives this example, you feel convinced. But then unless you repeat this several times, it will not intellectually also stick inside your consciousness. Chittam. Sticking intellectually in your consciousness means conviction. You develop conviction. So from philosophy, you should move towards conviction. Why this is true? Conviction. Unless you work for it by repeatedly doing shravanam of this truth, Shravanam, repeatedly hear this truth. It's a process. Then we develop conviction in the truth of Nama, Avatara Tattva, the Shakti Avesha Nama, Namakari Bauda, Nija Sarva Shakti, the example of the iron put in the fire given by Prabhupada, and the statement of Prabhupada that only when you hear, you touch the Krishna. When you chant, you invoke Krishna before you. When you hear, you touch Krishna. And this is an ocean of prema, love of Godhead, ocean of Sat, ocean of Chit and Ananda. So repeatedly, very few things connected with the descending of the holy name of the Lord, how the sound that we chant, into that enters the transcendental sound of the Lord. He descends, that's Avatara. When he descends, the sound that you chant becomes Shakti Avesha Avatara, Shakti Avesha Nama. Because Lord's all Shakti has come into that Nama. There is nothing material in Shakti Avesha Nama. It is simply another form of Shuddha Nama, very mercifully allowing us to chant with our material senses, hear with our material senses, and give us the same benefit of directly serving the eternal name of the spiritual world. So Shraddha, next, after conviction, then again we have to contemplate on this truth. What are the feelings that is associated if God comes before you? So first by intellectual reflection of mananam, shravanam, and do mananam of what you have heard, the truths from Guru, Sadhu and Shastra. And then dhyanam means you have to meditate, being in relationship with the Nama. And what is the first relationship? Shraddha. That means when I chant, I will do it with Shraddha, feeling, the truth feeling. And then when we practice our japa, with what you have done mananam, with what you have done dhyanam, that is anushīlanam. So shravanam, mananam, dhyanam, anushīlanam should be applied the philosophy of Nama. And then when we practice in this way, automatically we will develop a persona who can relate with every Nama with Shraddha. Chant, hear. A persona who is very alert to chant and hear every chant with background Shraddha. So japa affects on anybody, starting from the degree of Shraddha he has. So Shraddha is not one value. Shraddha can be little, Shraddha can be more, Shraddha can be more, Shraddha can be very deep. The deeper the Shraddha, the stronger is our attraction to Nama Avatara before us. When something is attractive, then attention will stay there. Mind will automatically stay there. If you feel the presence of Krishna, then automatically you don't have to struggle to keep the attention. Simply you have to lock. Simply you have to take away from something and just start, and immediately it gets locked. And locking attention is very important, because only by the attention you enter the sound. Hearing means running the attention with the sound as each sound manifests. It's a question of practicing. You have to stay within the fire of Satchidananda. Namakari Bauda Nija Sarva Shakti, all spiritual Shaktis. It's like in a hand you put in the fire, it will burn. Similarly, if you put your attention continuously on the Nama Avatara, it will burn all Asat, Achit and Jadananda. All false, fake belief that we have about what is happiness, what is pleasure, all will burn away. What we think as Sat, all Asat we think as Sat. This body as Sat, we think, we act, though it is very apparent to everyone, birth, death, old age, disease. But when we live our life, we live as if it is Sat. So that Asat can go only when it is replaced by Sat, the energy of eternity, eternal existence. Achit, that goes away only when the Chit energy can replace. Ignorance goes away when knowledge comes. So just imagine, if I want to realize myself as Sat Chit Ananda, it has to, from somewhere I have to get Sat energy to destroy the Asat around me. Somewhere I have to get the Chit energy to destroy the Achit in me. Somewhere I have to get Ananda energy, love and pleasure, all these kind of things. From somewhere, true love, true pleasure, destroy this fake belief about material love, material pleasure, all these things. So there won't be self-transformation. There cannot be self-transformation unless these energies are received by us. And the source of energy is the Surya of Satchidananda, Nama Avatara. Every avatara is a reservoir of Satchidananda. Shaktis. In the first, it is the Shakti that purifies us. Before that, we go to the Vyakti of that Shakti. When we chant Hare Krishna Maha-mantra, the Vyakti of Krishna and the Shakti is also all together are there. But we cannot relate to the Vyakti of Shakti. The Shaktiman is a Vyakti of the Shakti, the owner of Shakti and Shaktiman. Krishna is so pure that we cannot go near him, we cannot relate with him unless we also become one in quality with him. He is Satchidananda, we should also become Satchidananda. Our consciousness should become Satchidananda. For our consciousness to become Satchidananda, no big struggle. You have to go and get into the fire of Satchidananda and get heated. This is a process, not mental speculation, nothing. Go and get heated. Automatically, by hearing means you are falling into the fire. Therefore, the hearing, very important. Remembering this analogy of Prabhupada, fire and piece of iron is very important for intellectually conviction. Lord's inconceivable mercy to convert, to become the avatar Sharira. All this we need to have intellectual conviction. Then feel for it as truth. And then when we relate with Shraddha, when you chant and hear with Shraddha. So you chant and hear, but in the background you have to have all these things, not philosophizing, but it should have already be settled. Just like if you have some close, let's say you see two people get married, and then initially they hardly know each other. Slowly they know each other, right? Then relationship develops. Initially a lot of thinking is there, adjustment is there. Then it all levels out. Then there is a relationship, spontaneously. In the same way, unless we do the Shravanam, repeated Shravanam, I'm saying the word repeated Shravanam, not one time. Same thing, it look like the same thing, doesn't matter. Same thing, repeated Shravanam. Repeated Mananam, that means repeatedly hear the philosophy, logic, rational behind that truth. Repeatedly do Mananam. Repeatedly do Dhyanam of being in relationship with Nama in Shraddha and Nishilanam. Then when you practice, then automatically that relationship becomes spontaneous, or it becomes automatic. Our attraction to, as soon as we start our chanting, immediately our attention gets locked. Because from behind, in the background, it's just Krishna has come before me to give me association. And association is by hearing. And from association, what do you get? Flow of mercy from the Lord. And what is the form of the mercy of the Lord? Sat mercy, Chitta mercy, Ananda mercy. These are the three energies in existence. Take this, if you want to increase the quality of japa, simply everyone who is sitting here, they all are very much aware of the philosophy of Nama. Kalikale Nama Rupa Krishna Avatara. Nama Kari Bauda Nija Sarva Shakti. All this we philosophically know. These have to be, you have to do mananam on this. It is a question of because we have an equipment here. Yantra is there. Yantra goes by certain laws. You have repeated nonsense so many times, so it has become truth. Now we have to do this exercise for 6 months, 1 year. Write down, these are all given in the cards. The essential tattva of Nama Tattva. Daily 10 times you read that card. Let it settle repeatedly. Next day, let it settle. And once it's settled, it's a one-time investment. Whole life in your japa, you don't need these cards. It is a sadhaka's practice process. And then, as I said, the last anusilanam, every day our japa should be training japa. Practicing what we have done mananam, practicing what we have done dhyanam. According to Guru, Sadhu and Shastra, we have done Shravanam, Mananam, Dhyanam. It settles into the whole idea is, unless you repeat it, does. As I said, we all know the philosophy. But when you chant, if that has to come as a feeling in the background, you have to do this repetition. Otherwise, even after 50 years, you know the shloka, Kalikale Nama Rupa Krishna Avatara. But you won't feel when you are chanting that Krishna Avatara is before you. So this is the starting. Bhaktivinoda Thakur says that Shraddha is a starting point of japa. No Shraddha, then it will be mechanical, means very tough to remove distraction. That means very tough to enter the fire of Satchidananda, which means the effect is very minimum. Just like outside the fire, if you put the iron, little heat it will get. Put inside the fire, there is no comparison. Similarly, our mechanical japa, without attentively taking the nama into our heart, through the mind it enters our heart, it touches the soul. If you don't do that, little effect of Krishna consciousness you will get. So there is no doubt, the holy name is so pure, it is so such a reservoir of Satchidananda. Even you go near it, you will get heated. Some sati you will get, some chit mercy, some ananda mercy you will get. But if you understand this principle, go into that we have to uninterruptedly hold the attention on the nama without distraction. So that is often people ask this question, my attention is going here and there. Why? Because you have not developed Shraddha. You have developed the philosophy, you know the philosophy, but you have no Shraddha. Little philosophy, you know philosophy means little Shraddha is there. But little Shraddha is not enough to keep you attracted there. You need deep Shraddha. And this is a process I told you, not during japa, other than during japa. That is why reading Prabhupada's books is very important. Do Shravanam first about Nama, hear about Nama, hear about the glories of Nama Avatara, Prem, Golokera, Premadana, Harinama. All these things you should hear about it repeatedly. And then you know when you are doing japa, Krishna is before us in Nishabda Rupa, sound incarnation, very merciful. And he expects us to at least start with hearing him. Then other bhavanas, Priti Bhavana, all that. Automatically it will come. From Shraddha Bhavana, Priti Bhavana will come. When you get reciprocation. Then Sharanagati. So all the 16 cards ke liye 16 bhavanas are given. The first card is first 6 cards are about basics of locking the attention during japa. So many, chant, hear and feel. No thinking. Distraction is in the form of thinking of preaching, thinking of some relationship, thinking of some pending work, thinking of some problem solving, thinking of some exciting project, thinking about exciting service, thinking. There's the biggest distraction for you to enter the fire of Satchidananda. So japa time, keep aside everything, train your mind to run your attention along with each nama that is manifesting. Only 3 namas are there, Hare Krishna and Rama. 3 sounds are coming in its own sequence. Catch each sound with your attention. Respectful faith, attention with faith that this is Krishna. Like this, whatever little Shraddha we develop, apply it next day. So focus for next few weeks on developing this Shraddha, deepening this Shraddha by repeated Shravanam, Mananam and Dhyanam on the Nama Tattva. So we'll continue.